how's it going? It's AD like all day, your favorite realtor from Monterey, bringing you another edition of the beautiful struggle. But this time I'm accompanied by one of my favorite business partners, Mr. Ricky, with "You Call, We Haul." By far one of my favorite catchphrases out of anyone that I interviewed within the last few weeks. Ricky, if you could introduce yourself, who are you? What do you do for a living? And what's your why behind it?
All right, so my name is Ricardo Rocha, but I go by Ricky. My company is You Call, We Haul. My wife and I run it. We do hauling and junk removal, small scale moving, anything generally that you need done around your house we could help you with, but we specialize in hauling and junk removal. The why I do it, basically, I see it more than just a living. I see it as one of the whys is because I want to leave something behind for my two kids. That's the wellspring of my confidence. It's my family. And I would like to, my kids, once they get older, if they choose to, take over for me someday, I would like to leave them with that.
That's amazing, man. Thank you for sharing that as well. So can you elaborate a little bit on your why? Because I know a lot of entrepreneurs, small business owners, or just average people that are thinking about starting up a business. They have something that motivates them to start that business. So what was that thing that motivated you to want to start your own business?
I've always wanted to own my own business. But the pandemic is the major event that caused this. Before that, I was a retail manager for 20 years. Did everything for two different companies: hiring, onboarding, human resources, payroll, everything. Everything that's entailed with it. But then the pandemic hit, and my wife and I, we were at home for a while because our places where we work shut down, and that's when we started thinking, I've always wanted to start my own business.
Right.
I knew that in this area there was a market for hauling and junk removal, and I told my wife, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm not gonna wonder what if, or it was the pandemic that really got my wheels turning as to starting my own business and got me where I am today.
And why specifically junk removal and helping people move?
Because in the past I've also helped out people that did similar things, moving and junk removal, but they weren't really dedicated to the hauling and junk removal aspect.
Right.
So that's when I was helping them out during the pandemic, just doing something, and I said, okay, well, this is something that there's a market for it, obviously, because some of the people that we talked to, they would tell us I wish there was a junk. I wish you guys would do this too, junk removals. And that's when I kind of started getting the idea. Yeah, because I was just helping somebody out just so I wouldn't be bored at home all day, and that's where I got the idea from. Yeah.
That's amazing, right? Yeah. They say the riches are in the niches, and it sounds like you heard people's problems, and that's what we do as business owners. We help people solve their problems, which is amazing. And so what was that adversity that you were facing that was difficult for you at the time, and how did you overcome that hurdle?
Well, I'll be honest, the biggest hurdle for me was the unknown. It's human nature to always fear the unknown.
Right.
My wife, I was used for the past 20 years, just working that corporate lifestyle, 9 to 5. Every 2 weeks you get your paycheck no matter what.
Right.
You get used to that safety net. And then the biggest adversity I faced was, okay, if I start my own business, I have no clue how busy I'm going to be. Right. I could be dead 1 week, I could be busy, I could, it was just so. The biggest adversity was not having that safety net of no matter what, you're gonna get your 40 hours a week, your paycheck, see your kids and wife in the evenings, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
punch in, punch out.
Exactly.
How did you feel during that time when you was working that corporate job, or that 9 to 5, or the W-2 job?
It was weird because you just kind of get used to it. Yeah, you work Monday through Friday. On Friday, you can't wait for it to be Friday so you can unwind.
You can party.
Right. Yeah, unwind, do your thing, and then on Sunday, it's back to Monday, and it just becomes a cycle. And you do what you have to do, obviously, to pay your mortgage, to do everything you have to do. But in the end, it almost became like like almost like an existence, not really living, you know? It's like
Wow.
you're existing. You're putting in your hours, you know, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it was just, that's what we're used to. You know, I did that for 20 years, and you know, you just kind of get used to it.
Yeah, I could relate, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate. I call it spiritual suicide. I call it like literally dying before you even get an opportunity to live, you know. But I'm glad that you found that inspiration and to want to go into the unknown and still follow your dreams and what you really want to do. So when you first got started, they say that you know, scarcity is the mother of all inventions. What were some things that you were implementing when you were first getting started, where you were facing that adversity that helped you overcome it, you know, that you're probably implementing now in your business?
So some of the things I implemented to help me get over that adversity was, first of all, it was like my wife, because she's been 100% supportive.
Nice.
And she said, you know what, regardless, you know, we'll be fine. You know, just this is what you want to do. Let's try it. So it was that, my wife's reassurance, my wife's help. She helps me out big time. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't do this without her, literally.
What's your wife's name again?
Mari.
Mari.
Yeah.
Shout
Mari.
out to Mari.
Yeah. So that, and then, you know, and also like my 8-year-old, because I have an 8-year-old and, well, my youngest, he's going to be 2 next
Nice.
month. And my 8-year-old saying, you know what, Dad, like, I'm really proud of you for doing this. You know, now, like, you know, this is something I could help you with, and, you know, I can take over for you. So just that encouragement is really what helped me. That, you know, sometimes you just need that little extra push and to take that step. So they're the ones that help me. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. And I love that kind of goes into your core values, right? Who you are as a person. It sounds like family is very important to you. It sounds like with your success, they succeed. And can you kind of elaborate that a little bit in terms of, like, you know, why is it important that you succeed in this business, and how does it affect your loved ones and those in your circle of influence?
Yeah, well, it's important that I succeed in this because, well, first of all, financially, you know, I still have to pay the bills.
You got to bring the food to the table, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's, you know, of course, I still have to do that. But I also need to fail because to show, you know, just to show myself and to show my kids, like, you know what, like, as an example, like, whatever my kids want to do when they get older, like, you know what, if you just take that step into the unknown, you know, this can happen. You know, you can succeed. Like, you don't have to stick to the routine. You don't have.
That's awesome, man. So you know, it sounds like you've adapted your response to when you are confronted with adversity. So what would you say is your relationship now with adversity compared to where you first started, and how are you helping others to face their adversities, whether in your job or outside of your business?
Yeah, well, you know, now facing adversity, like that was the first major step, was just going to the unknown, starting a new business. But now the way I face adversity, everything else, it doesn't even seem like, how can I explain? It's, you try to look at every opportunity in when there's adversity. Like, you try to be optimistic about it. It really helped me. Like, now I don't see it as a problem. I see it as like an opportunity. So you don't see adversity as adversity, you see it as opportunity. Like, okay, it's not working this way, but I can make it work this way. Like I said, so as far as facing adversity, taking this step really helped me just reconfigure the way that I look at adversity from this point on. And the way it's helped me help others is, well, one thing in my line of work, sometimes I deal with people that have been hoarders somewhat, you know, doing hauling and junk removal. They've hoarded stuff, and for some reason, sometimes city officials had to step in and make them get rid of their stuff. And I'm not there, like, I don't try to be there just to do a job. I really try to talk to the homeowner and say, you know what, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
You know, you'll get through this. You know, I'm going to help you. We're going to do this together.
Right.
Yeah. So try to get their confidence and try to get them to, you know, see that I'm actually there to help them. I'm not just there to get rid of their stuff and get a paycheck. Like,
Right.
I'm actually, like, emotionally invested in them. That's what I try to do with whenever they call me, and that's how I try to help people in adversity.
That's amazing, man. So you're not only, obviously, you're supplying a service, but you emotionally you share your heart with these people, with your clients that you help every day, and seeing that transform, because everybody loves transformation, right? Like losing weight, or like cleaning out a hoarder's house or something like that. That's huge, and I could imagine they're probably smiling cheek to cheek after you help them with that. So that's amazing. So besides that, if you could jump back into a time machine and go talk to your younger self when you were first starting off the business, just kickstarting it, and you had all these thoughts, and you're going through all these adversities, or maybe a little bit before that, what would you tell yourself in terms of what's the road ahead, and what to prepare for, or what advice would you give yourself, if you could jump on that time machine?
If I could jump in that time machine, well, it's funny because I do something that a friend of mine told me to do, and I still do it to this day. Like, I carry a picture of myself when I was little in my phone. It could be just any picture of when you're little.
Yeah.
And, you just, for every now and then, you just pull out that picture of yourself and, when you're little, when you're 2, 3, 4, whatever, and just say, you know what, no matter what, you're going to be fine. Just keep going. You're going to be fine. It's like that Winston Churchill quote where he said, never give up, never surrender, never, never. So that's what I would tell my younger self. No matter what, even when things look bleak or you're unsure about something, just keep going, have faith in the Lord. Everything's going to be just fine.
That's amazing.
That's what I would tell myself.
That's amazing, man. That's always something that we could all use, right? A little bit of inspiration, motivation to not give up, to not give in, but to keep moving forward, and you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's amazing. So when a lot of people are in that difficult moment, they can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So what would you tell, yourself or anyone that's listening, in terms of how you practice finding the beauty in the struggle, and to better explain that, finding the lessons in the adversities that you face? How do you find that now when you deal with a problem?
Well, what I would tell people facing adversity now, knowing what I know now, I would say, when things are going good in life and business, it's easy to be optimistic when everything's going good. But I honestly think that when things are hard, when you do find a struggle, when you find adversity, when you're really down there, like in the rough, in the trenches of whatever life throws at you, if you keep going, I think that's where you really find the treasure in life. Not just in business, in life. Like when things are hard and you got to mud through it, through the trenches, that's where you're really going to find the treasure. And that's where you're really going to find the lessons in life that are going to carry you throughout the rest of your life if you just keep going.
Wow, man. I don't know if you guys caught that, but Mr. Ricky here is dropping gems, man. I think I'm going to have to take this quote. He says, find the treasure while you're in the trenches. Like, that's amazing, man. It's like how do you create a diamond? Immense pressure, then you got to put it in through fire, then you got to cut it. So it goes through phases, but then eventually you get that diamond. So that's amazing, bro. So I mean, you answered all the questions amazingly. I just wanted to leave the viewers and the listeners with the last remark. Anything you want to tell to the viewers? Anything, last impressions you want to leave everybody with?
No, just thank you for your time. Thank you, my BNI family. I wouldn't be here without you guys. Same as my wife and my kids. I wouldn't be here without you guys. So, AD, thank you so much.
Oh, no worries, man. Thank you so much. And Ricky, where can they find more about you and your business?
You Call We Haul. My Instagram is at You Call We Haul. My phone number is 831-227-5648. That's where you find me.
Awesome, man. And I'm going to make sure to put his information in below. And all we ask is that you please like, subscribe, and comment if you like what you're seeing, what would you like to see improve, what would you like to see next. Also, stay tuned for another episode of The Beautiful Struggle. And thank you guys for listening. And until next time.